Those comment sections are going to blow up if you share a bit more of your personality. Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Before we get stuck into today's video, I wanted to kick off by saying that if you ever want more Instagram advice, or you want to share your thoughts on your strategy, or just want to get a few more tips and tricks on what you're doing, then don't forget to head to my Instagram account at Bella Foxwell. DM me, we'll have a chat in there. I would love to hear from you. So please do that after you've watched this video. So I'm really excited about today's video because it's on a topic that I know is very frustrating for a lot of people and can be one of the biggest hurdles for small business owners and entrepreneurs succeeding on Instagram. And that is content. What content to share on your main feed. Now, in next week's video, I'm going to talk to you about the secret to creating consistent Instagram content. So don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell button so you're notified when that video goes live next week, because I'm walking you through exactly the step-by-step process of how to make that happen. But in this video, we're going to talk more broadly about the 3 types of content that you should be creating in 2020 to make sure that you're working with the Instagram algorithm and that your target audience is finding and engaging with your content. Now, one of the things to note before we talk about those 3 types of content is that now that likes are being hidden for most people across the world on Instagram, it's changing the importance of certain metrics. No longer are likes the thing that we should be worrying so much about. It's no longer going to be the thing that brands and other companies that are looking to work with influencers and other collaborators are going to be looking for. They're going to be looking for other signs and signals that content is resonating with an audience. And those include save, shares, and comments. So that's going to make a lot more sense when we dive into the 3 types of content that you should be sharing on Instagram in 2020. So without further ado, let's get into them. So the great thing about these 3 types of content is that they each begin with the letter S. It's the SSS. So that is hopefully going to make them really easy to remember. And the first one we're talking about is shareable content. This is going to be a huge one to think about for your strategy in 2020. So the types of content you might be sharing in a shareable Instagram post is informative and helpful content. However, it also might be the type of content that makes a statement, controversial or otherwise, or speaks to people's experience. So I'm going to share a post on the screen now of an example of a piece of shareable content. And it comes from the account Freelancing Females, which is one that I personally love because so much of the content really hits the nail on the head for me. It really resonates with me. And this particular post that I'm sharing on the screen is one that I have seen shared by so many people. Why? Because it really speaks to the audience. Freelancing Females audience of young women going out there and trying to make a name for themselves and trying to carve out a career where they are their own boss and they are in charge is really, really scary. And no, we never feel like we're ready to do that. You see that the format of this post isn't something that has had hours spent on it. It's not really whizzy with the design. It's not a photograph that has been highly edited. It is simply the reminder that you get on your phone that we're all familiar with, but it's the message that really resonates. And what makes it so shareable is that because it speaks to people's experience, particularly female freelancers' experience, because it is exactly how they feel, they want to share it. It's something that they can share without having to create content themselves. So think about the ways that you could speak to your audience, how you could get inside their head and almost say what they're thinking so that they want to share it more, because you're almost putting the words into their mouth. You're doing the hard work for them of creating content that they can then share on their Instagram stories, that they can share with their friends, because it's like you're already in their headspace. You're thinking what they're thinking. The second type of content you should be sharing in 2020 is service content. Now, this is your really informative, valuable, helpful content. This is where you might be sharing a tip or a trick or a how-to or a tutorial. It might be in the form of a video. It might be in the form of a carousel. I'm going to share an example right now on the screen of the types of service posts that I have been sharing more of on my Instagram account, Bella Foxwell. You'll see that it is shared in the format of a carousel so that more information can be given to people than just in one image. And this has done really well for me. So Bella Foxwell is a new account for me. It's where I'm sharing my positivity and Instagram tips and tricks. It's a move away from my original account, The Doors of London, and it's where I can share more of that advice about how to grow on Instagram, how to grow a community without going mad. But you'll see that this is one of my best performing posts in terms of saves. So that is the key metric with this type of service post. It's the saves. And the reason that people are going to save it is because you are sharing advice, tips and tricks, valuable information that people can go back to and look at for reference. Almost like a Pinterest post that people are going to pin to look at for future use, for later, maybe to share with their friends as well. You might see on this type of content shares as well, but saves is really the metric that we're going for with this type of post. So that is why it's worth sharing informative, helpful, value-driven content. Now, the third type of post you want to be sharing more of in 2020 is soulful posts. Soulful posts are the ones where you get vulnerable, where you share a bit more of your experience as a human being. Now, of course, if you're a small business owner or an entrepreneur, I say this in lots of my videos, you don't have to bare your entire soul. You don't have to really go really deep if it doesn't feel comfortable for you, but you should be sharing a bit more of your personality, whether that's sharing the struggles that you've had, whether it's sharing more about the achievements that you've had, or whether it's sharing something that you thought you weren't very good at, but you've been working on in the last year or the last few months. Whatever it is, it's about getting a little bit vulnerable, bearing a bit of your soul with your audience. Because guess what? That is what is going to result in that conversation. Those comment sections are going to blow up if you share a bit more of your personality. I'm going to share an example here on the screen of Jenna Kutcher, course creator, podcast host, multifaceted, multi-hyphenate entrepreneur, very successful businesswoman. She knows the art of sharing her soul and sharing her personality really well. She does it brilliantly. She shares posts about her body, about becoming a mother, about the struggles she has had becoming an entrepreneur and the doubts she had as a female boss. She shares everything. She's really open and soulful. And as I say, you don't need to go quite to that level. She's really good at being really open and transparent. But sharing a bit more of yourself in relation to your target audience is what is going to help you get more comments and really spark the conversation on Instagram. Of course, it's important to remember how your piece of soulful content relates to your target audience. It should elevate their experience and speak to them. It shouldn't be obviously just about yourself if that has no relation to your target audience. But think of the ways that your personality and sharing more of you would connect with your target audience and show them that you are a real human being going through similar struggles or similar experiences, or shows them that you know what they're going through and elevates their experience and connects with them. That is all for today's video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope those 3 types of content, shareable, service and soulful, get you thinking about the types of content you could be sharing in 2020 to connect better with your audience and to get those really valuable saves, shares and comments, because those are the things that you should be tracking and looking at and forgetting about the likes, because frankly, they don't really mean much. Those other new metrics are more important. If you love this video, I would love for you to hit subscribe and the bell button so you can be notified when a brand new video goes live every single Friday. As I said, next week we are talking about how to create consistent Instagram content. I'm walking you through that process step by step, so join me next week for that video. I can't wait to see you then. If you want to get your hands on any more free resources, check the links in the description box below, and please join my free 4-day email challenge. It's a really great Kickstarter for you, whether you are brand new to the platform or whether you have been on Instagram for the last 4 years and kind of don't know what you're doing. If you want to get a kick up the butt and relight the fire for your Instagram strategy and the passion for the platform, check that out. The link is in the description box below. I will see you next week for a brand new video, guys. Bye.